Welcome to rover.com. Oh, thanks. Welcome to rover.com. This is a company, I think, that I pitched a little more than 2 years ago at a startup weekend of roughly this size, and it's now the largest dog sitting website in the world. So, and wouldn't be here without Phil, who was one of the folks who was on the team, and it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. By the way, so I'm on the board of globally of Startup Weekend. We're called Up Global, and I've been to dozens of these as a participant, as a judge, as a mentor. I think, I'm being totally serious, you have the best facilitators and organizers of any startup weekend anywhere. And I'm not even just saying because they're here. Seriously, so let's give these guys a hand. Carly and Hogan, amazing, all the hours that they put in. So thank you so much. You guys are seriously fortunate. I know the last thing you want to do, you want to get up here and pitch, so I'm going to give a very short and sweet, some secrets to how to make this weekend the most productive that it can be, and maybe tell some dog stories. By the way, this was the original website, as Phil can tell you. This was the original photo on the front of the rover.com website. And apparently it tested well with men, but not with women for some reason. So, why should you care about what I'm saying? So I've won multiple startup weekends. I've participated. I've judged in half a dozen of them, and of course, this company that you're sitting in was inspired. This is my daughter Ellie with our dog Ruby, and was inspired by an idea I had. So I have some familiarity with what you guys are all about to go through, and again, you can take these insights for what they're worth, but that's sort of my quick story. I like the music. So I have 7 tips for you. The first is pitch an idea that you're passionate about solving tonight. If you're thinking about trying to decide what you're going to actually get up and pitch. One of the things I don't love is that every startup weekend I've been to, at least one guy will stand up and pitch a fashion startup idea. And some guys are really into fashion, but most of the time it's because their girlfriend or someone they know, they think it might be a good business, but they aren't really interested or passionate about it. Don't do that. Pitch something that you love, that you care about, that you really want to solve, and it'll make your weekend more fun, and frankly, it'll allow you to attract better sort of folks to your team. So pitch an idea you're passionate about solving. Number 2, actively choose your team. Now, what most people do is they come in and they're like, okay, what is an idea that seems interesting? That guy that woman kind of seems like a jerk, but I kind of like the idea. You find someone, find a team that you really could be excited about working with. A group of people. If you're a developer, is there a business person that inspires you, or vice versa? You really focus on the people and the idea. So do both, and actively go and choose your team, and really think about 54 hours is a long time. Think about who you're going to want to be spending that time with. All right, that's the family feud, by the way. Great show. This is one of my tips that I'm handing over to you. So draft the pitch deck on Friday night that you want to give ultimately on Sunday. It doesn't have to be Friday night, it can be Saturday morning. But the idea is, figure out the story that you want to tell, up front. This is an Amazon trick. I don't know how many of you are from Amazon. Okay, you guys understand this. Write the press release before you do the build. Right? Same with Startup Weekend if you want to be successful. Write the story, and then spend the weekend trying to fill that out, trying to make that actually happen. And so the best way to do that is to actually get that pitch deck or the story you want to tell and the product you want to show off. Figure out what it is you want to do before you go and just start building and start sending people off to different things. All right. That's actually my cousin. I babysat. Isn't that a great thing? Fred Savage is my cousin. It's like my only friend. So from Wonder Years. But tell me a story. If I'm a judge, I want to hear why you care about it. Don't just get up and give numbers and graphs. Oh, this is a cool product. Tell me a story that makes me want to engage with you, to believe in you. So, and I think the best startup weekend pitches at the end are ones where there's a real story about why it is that you're doing what you're doing, why it's important. All right. Make it personal. Divide and conquer. So what does that mean? 95%, and I don't think I'm off, of what most people do at Startup Weekend is completely irrelevant to ultimately what happens on Sunday. Like people go, it would be cool to do this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're totally allowed to do that. Frankly, you can do whatever you want. It's your 54 hours. But sometimes it's fun to actually be a part of a team and go build something, all be on the same sort of page, right? And so once you have the brilliance of sort of drafting that pitch deck ahead of time is then you can sort of say, hey, we need someone to actually go, part of the pitch deck is we need a customer survey that shows that people actually want to buy our product. Nishant, you're in charge of customers, you go figure that out. We need a product that has this particular feature or this sort of feature set. You're in charge of this feature, you're in charge, but divide it up, and not everyone needs to work on the same thing. That makes the entire process work better, it gives people sort of responsibility for something they're in charge of, and again, whoever is sort of pitching the idea, really be in charge of saying, okay, let's divide up responsibilities and figure out who's doing what. All right. I think, again, one of the great things about this is talking to real customers. And at the bottom, I say leverage everyone in this room. So everyone in this room could potentially be a customer, for example, of something that you're pitching. Leverage people here, go around, do surveys, call up people on the phone. Someone should be in charge of customer stuff, but you should be there should be no pitch this weekend that doesn't do a ridiculous amount of real customer surveying, real customer research. And I think that's the difference between a typical hackathon and what you do at Startup Weekend. Is hackathon's like, hey, let's build something really cool. I don't really care what customers say, and I totally am into that, right? Because that was what Steve Jobs did too, and he kind of came out with some good ideas. But like, what Startup Weekend is about is building potentially real businesses, and real businesses are driven ultimately by customers. So talk to customers this weekend. Has to be part of your group. And then finally, have fun. If this isn't the best 54, especially with this freaking, facilitation team, if this isn't the most fun that you've had in the last year, then you're not doing something right. Okay, so have fun, enjoy it. There'll be a lot of dogs around. Pet some dogs. And seriously, it's an honor to have all you guys here and to be up here before you and just have a great time. And I'm going to be around tomorrow listening to Phil tell some of the Rover story. I'm going to be coaching. I look forward to meeting all of you guys in person. But good luck.